podcast, the only podcast called Never Seen It that's worth listening to. With us tonight, Mr. Arnie, the one-man party, aka Arnold Callego, Mr. Daily Dares, aka Filipino Grigio, aka Alex Callego, the brothers Callego. And then there's me, Boots Too Big, aka Adrian De La Torre. And tonight, we have a special guest. She's a movie enthusiast with a passion for low-budget horror driven by the belief that creativity isn't limited by budget. She's always on the lookout for fresh, unique stories told through film and TV. She began creating content on TikTok in August of last year after returning from a trip to Puerto Rico, where she saw Bad Bunny perform. Currently, she's expanding into YouTube, focusing on longer-form content like the video essays and in-depth film analysis, and she's also planning to upgrade her equipment to improve the quality of her videos. A Miami native of Cuban and Guatemalan background, she shares her life with 3 dogs, a Great Dane, and 2 rescue pups. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mel Movies, aka Mel_is_very_extra on TikTok. Welcome, Mel. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And the movie we're discussing tonight, well, a movie of your choice, was the 2015 Llamageddon.
Something wrong with that fucking llama.
It will be explosive. It will get messy.
A killer llama from outer space crash lands on Earth and brings death and destruction to everyone in its path. So Mel, you chose this movie. Tell us, what is it about Llamageddon that stuck out to you?
So I do have a very large watch list on Letterboxd, and I watch a lot of low budget horror movies in hopes that I find like maybe a hidden gem amongst maybe like low budget horror. Because like I said, not always the budget dictates how good a film is, and we can see that in a lot of movies. So I'm looking for like creativity, I'm looking for fun ideas, and maybe Llamageddon would be it. And llamas are cute. I don't know. It called to me. It was like a creature feature, low budget type of thing, and I was willing to waste 67 minutes of my time to determine if it was good or not.
Alex?
I have a question, actually. So one of our guests was Gil Branco, who was the director and writer, creator of the film A Halloween Feast. Have you seen that film?
I don't think I've seen Halloween Feast.
It
sounds interesting.
Yeah,
you should really check that one out. I think we were all pleasantly surprised about that one. I think that it's a lower budget film, and I think it would be right up your alley. But
yeah,
definitely. I think you should. I think Gil Branco. We could connect you guys too. You could probably even interview him as well.
Yeah, he's on TikTok and he's great. You know, it's a very fun movie. It's very silly. I think if you like Llamageddon, you might like Halloween Feast even more. It's got like weird twists and turns. That's kind of the vibe that movie is.
It's also got like a legendary horror actress too.
Lynn Lowry, yeah.
Lynn Lowry, yeah.
I'm not sure what the budget of Llamageddon is, but
I read that it was a $3,000 budget. It actually started as a high school film project.
Interesting.
That's what the ChatGPT said.
It feels like a high school budget.
It feels like a student project.
Yeah.
I was told by my husband, so anyone can make a movie. I'm like, that's correct. Anyone can make a movie.
I think that's kind of the beauty of it, right? You can just sit out with the camera and some fake blood and a llama if you have one nearby, and then in post just add red glowing eyes to it, and boom, you got yourself a go movie.
And don't forget, you need at least a dozen shirts for that one guy. Shirts and a mix of tank tops.
You noticed that too? Dan's shirt changed in every scene. He even had a Star Trek shirt and did like a Star Trek monologue.
Yeah.
It was like an inside joke I think we're supposed to all be aware of.
That's where most of the budget went. T-shirt budget.
They were all donated. They hit the discount racks at the Goodwill whenever discount day it was.
And they just said, take them.
Arnold, I have a question for you. Do you think the changing of the T-shirts in every shot was indicative of a much larger theme of the changing of the guard and the social nature that we're currently in?
I think it was just totally random, except, did you notice the part when, I forget the sister's name, when she was
Mel.
like calling,
there's a Mel, yeah, that's right.
The sister's name is Mel.
When she was calling all her friends, and then even one of them, she was like, hey, Spock, and then later, he was wearing a Star Trek shirt, or long sleeve.
That scene, she had 3 different scenes of that. Oh, like, Cassie, can you come in? Tammy, can you come to the party?
Yeah.
I was like, we only needed one effective shot of this.
Yeah.
So who was the people that died in the beginning? Was that the parents of one of the guys?
It was the grandparents. However, they looked the same age as the mom.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I was gonna
And
say.
it was the grandparents, and then it was their house that they had the party in later.
Right.
I found it so weird that okay, they died, but then all the animals just stayed there. No like animal control took them in. Like when they arrived, there was a dog just roaming around the front porch.
Yes.
I thought that was
That dog was later seen in the woods near the end.
yeah.
If you
noticed that.
Exactly.
it was the dog.
I did not
There's
catch that
also
at
a
all.
shot that they were talking. Mel was talking on the phone, and the dog kept changing positions
Yeah.
on the porch because of the
Yeah.
cuts.
Well,
So
so-
they needed to take the dog out of the scene.
What I found strange was how they were kind of inconsistent. Like the one guy, they show up and he's like, "You gotta stay, you gotta do this or whatever," and he starts talking in a really whiny voice, like, "Oh, why do I gotta?" And he like did that several more times throughout the movie, and I had no idea what that was about.
Which guy was
you know,
this?
like it was the guy from the beginning when they pull up to the house after the grandparents die, and the mom or whoever the lady was turns to him and she tells him something. He's like, "Oh, I don't wanna do that." And he just starts
Oh,
talking in a
are you
whiny.
talking about the brother?
Yeah, that brother. Yeah, whatever.
Floyd. Floyd. That was his
Floyd.
name.
Yeah.
Floyd, yeah.
Why was he doing that? What was that?
That was
What was
so
the-
weird. That was
I honestly think that they were just trying to set a difference between like the pre him having sex and post having sex, because like if you notice like
Virginity Floyd,
yeah
and unflowered Floyd.
yeah, which is I kind of find weird because like he got penetrated.
He became a man.
Yeah.
He
Became a
said
man.
so.
Yeah.
I mean
Like,
he
I'm
became a
man now.
man.
yeah, that's what he did. That was his one.
Well, so Mel, let me ask you this, and I'll ask this to the room as well. What was the best part about this movie for you? Like, what was it about this movie where you're like, yeah, this is dumb, but actually, you know, I liked.
The llama, I don't know, the llama was so cute. Every time the llama was there, I was like, okay, I'm in love with this llama. It's so cute. More llama. Many more of them. Because we only have the one. So the Geddon part, I don't get it. Llamageddon, like, we only got the one, then we have baby llamas, like
Yeah.
eggs or whatever, in the fur
Oh,
eggs.
true.
Which
Yeah.
was very cute too, by the way. I was like, man, that is so freaking cute. If we had like maybe 5 llamas, I would have just so too cute. Like I'm
Well,
just obsessed. Because the
apparently
acting
there's a
was
sequel.
terrible, and the music was not good, and
Yeah.
the cinematography lacked. So really, the only saving grace is the cute llama.
The cute llama. Yeah, they made a sequel called Alpacalypse.
Is that really a sequel?
Yeah, it came out 2024 actually. Maybe we'll have to do a follow-up.
I guess we'll have to do a follow up.
Yeah, the llama thing I didn't get. Like I understood it's like this is a creature feature where it's gonna be like a slasher where he goes in and starts. And there were some creative kills. I will say that first kill with the guy who he's giving it a cigarette and then it takes a puff of the cigarette and then it bites his finger off. I thought that was funny actually. That was probably the only funny moment in the movie for me. Arnold, did you have an opinion on that?
Well, you know what? So on that, I'm a grandpa, and granddaughter lives next door, and one's 10 and one is 1 and like 8 months. And the 1-year-old, they came over at that point when the guy was smoking was it a cigarette or was it a blunt?
It was
I
either a
think it
blunt or a
was
cigarette.
but we had a blunt later.
Oh, okay. Well, she walked in and she's all llama, and then the llama bites the dude's fingers off, and then she had this really like confusing face and was like, and then my wife was
Oh,
like,
no.
pause it, because she has like llama toys.
Oh, you may have scarred her for life, my
Oh,
friend.
it's too cute.
Well then it's easy. I just distracted her. I was like, look at Ducky, Mickey Mouse Ducky, and then she was fine.
Yeah, how old is she?
1.
She'll forget that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope. But Arnold, since you're talking about it, yeah. So, what was the standout moment for you, Arnold? There has to have been a moment in there that you were like, okay, this is actually kind of good.
There was one point where I started counting how many times the guy changed his shirt.
Was it a
Stan-
dozen?
I think it was
It
more
was
than
a
a dozen.
lot.
It was a lot.
I stopped
And
counting.
it wasn't just. It was like every other shot or something that we
It
saw
was
him in.
every other shot, and then every shot at the end. Every single shot at the end.
Oh,
Yeah, like
Part that made me laugh was towards the end when they're like one of the guys was throwing up, but it was just like like a water faucet or like a hose or something. It reminded me, Alex, of your high school Spanish class, your film project.
The
then
trilogy
you
that we
guys-
made. The trilogy that we made.
ooh,
Yeah.
you guys made a trilogy.
You guys
Yeah.
did use a hose too.
It was a spoof on Wayne's World. It was called
Oh, nice.
Mundo de Dan, Hora de tener fiesta.
Why did you make it Spanish?
Because it was for Spanish
Oh,
class.
because it was.
for Spanish
yeah.
class.
Like, so we
I
were
missed
we
that
were
part.
allowed to either do like a presentation in front of the class, or we could do a presentation on video. And so me and my three friends decided to make a Wayne's World spoof in Spanish, and it was
I
like,
played an extra
yeah,
on a
that's
few
right.
scenes. Do you still own that?
I still have it. I have it here somewhere.
You do?
I have
Oh,
it.
hell
It's
yeah.
in VHS. We can digitize it. I just
Yeah,
did
let's
that.
do a film festival of all our bad movies from high school and college.
I have a ton of like friends made movies and stuff like that. I have one
Yeah.
where like I think it was for my 18th birthday. My friends had put together this like as if I passed away or something.
Or no, it
Eulogy?
was like, no, wasn't it the story of Alex?
Well, it was
Wasn't
the
it?
story of Alex because like it was kind of like they were joking that I had passed away, and they had like there was a scene where they were at my funeral, and like all the people were crying. I can't remember it now, but it was just it was really stupid. And there was a recreation of like the night that I was born. I think Arnold
God.
like played me. I don't know. As a
I
baby.
think so. And our older brother Donnie, he played our dad.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll have to do an NSIP film festival eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie. So back to Llamageddon, because we have to talk about Llamageddon. This is the movie of the night. I'm reading on IMDb that it's 69 minutes long, Arnold, and this is in line with the humor of the movie. Now, I want to talk about the humor for a second, Mel, and I want to ask you this first. You watch movies like The Room. You watch anything by Neil Breen. I don't know if you know who Neil Breen is, but he makes these insane movies as well. They make them with sincerity, right? Like they're trying to make a good movie. And then the fact that it ends up being ridiculously bad is what is part of the charm of it,
yeah.
right?
Like,
Did
they're
you
try-
get
they're
that with
trying
this
to make a
movie?
good
Like, is this movie so bad it's good, or did you just think, like, what's your thoughts on that?
So there's a lot of interesting things I think this director is doing in this movie. They have some close-up mouth shots, like a lot of
A
close-up
lot.
mouth,
An
like
uncomfortable
the
amount.
teeth. Like you'll see every cavity in that tooth for whatever reason on multiple characters. That's unusual. So I'm not sure if that's for comedic effect. It's mostly odd. You have a saxophone dance sequence that goes on for way too long between the sister and Dan. So it was a little funny at first that they broke out into dance, but then it just got kind of cringe. Did this movie did they try so hard to be good, but it's bad? Or did
Is
they
it just
try-
bad?
I don't know. I see some creativity with the were llama. I can respect a transformation sequence. They were trying
Yeah.
there. I think that's
Yeah.
probably the strongest part of this movie, other than the cute llama, because that was actually like, okay, now we're getting somewhere that furry eggs,
Yeah.
llamas, the transformation. The
What
guy
was
used to
the-
kill me.
But
I'm
they
like,
didn't
yeah.
really do anything with the were-llama. I
No,
kept
I know, they
expecting
should have
him to
gone
become
more
a
into it.
llama. They kind of just dropped that, like, almost immediately.
They could have dropped the party immediately and just done more were llama. That would
Yeah.
have been better.
But wasn't he supposed to be like the carrier? Like that's how he was supposed to, like the eggs were to proliferate. Like he was the one that was like birthing the eggs at the very end.
He was
Gave
the
birth to
surrogate.
A lot of eggs.
Yeah, he
It's
birthed.
like a dozen.
Yeah, it's funny. I really hated this film at first, but then I gave it a day to kind of marinate, and it's like, okay, well, this is like just like Trauma. Trauma makes like really bad movies on purpose. I know we had this conversation earlier on. We were saying kind of like to your point, Adrian, you're like, are they trying to be sincere, or are they really just trying to make a bad movie? And at first we were kind of like shitting on it, being like, they're not really trying to be sincere, and that's why it's like a bad movie for the sake of being a bad movie. But then that's part of the charm, right? I think a lot of what Lloyd Kaufman did in Trauma was very tongue-in-cheek. We are making a bad movie, so let's lean into it. Like we're doing the best that
Yeah.
we can with what we have,
Yeah.
so let's lean into it and be. And that's I look at it now and I think about just the stupid Spanish movie, Spanish class
Yeah.
movie that I did, and like we had zero budget. We had a video camera that we borrowed from our neighbor, and we filmed this trilogy of like Spanish class films. It was dumb. By the third film, like by the third video, we lost steam, and we were just like just doing it just to do it. But at the same time,
Right.
like all three of them were just like we did it because we were having fun.
And I will say, like, it takes a lot of effort to make a movie, and to these guys' credit, like, imagine, Alex, you got tired after doing, what, a 20-minute, 15-minute thing? Imagine doing an hour and a half long movie. Like, it takes a lot of time and energy to do that. I think any filmmaker will appreciate the amount of effort that it takes. And this movie did have effort put into it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, right? Like, there was some good practical effects
was
for
a
what it's
lot.
worth. Yeah, even the VFX, like the post VFX that they made with the llama eyes and the lasers and all that crazy stuff, like all that takes effort and planning. You got to be as strategic as possible.
The use of the animation as well to even fill in the cracks.
Yeah.
That's right. There was animation. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a whole nother aspect.
Yeah.
Like someone had to make that.
I feel like they could have used a little bit more.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
The animation probably took like 40, 50 hours to make just for that little snippet. I'm serious. Like it probably took that long.
Yeah, there was no Chat GPT back then.
No, not in
No.
2015.
No, that's not AI slop. That's just regular.
Yeah.
Actually, no, the animation was cool. It's not even slop. It is.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say now, like I'll take human slop over AI slop any day, because at least I know, oh, this is a piece of shit. Well, you know what? I know that human hands touched this piece of shit and made this piece of shit. That's fine.
Those animation sequences could have easily made it on to like the festival, like something like Spike and Mike's Sick and Twisted Film Festival would have like absolutely put it into their rotation.
Yeah, they just bookended it because it was at the very beginning, at the end. Like they could have done it like at least twice in the middle.
Yeah.
I feel.
And I'll put this question in the room, but I'll start with you, Mel. Who do you think was the strongest character in this? Besides the llama. Besides the llama.
That llama's so cute. Like it's so. Okay, the strongest character. Well, shout out to Mel, the sister. She's all right. Maybe Dan, the one with the changing shirts. He had a real resolve. He wanted to play the game.
Yeah.
Did he want to get laid? No, that was the boyfriend. The boyfriend was weird. He needed to go. No, but Dan, he had a mission. He said, play the game. Let's get in the hot tub. Let's have fun. He wanted to have fun. Then everyone died in the hot tub. And then,
Yeah. The hot tub scene.
Wow, they just got quickly eliminated.
You know what's funny about that scene too? Is they had like two characters that I'd never seen throughout the whole film in the hot tub.
I know.
No, there's three. Because there's the two guys that were like, there's the horse mask guy and then the guy that's sitting next to him, and then some girl who just randomly those two girls were just no Sarah was one of them, and then
Who were in the kitchen? The two girls.
Like there was
There was
8
three
people
dudes
in
in
that
the
hot tub.
I'm confused
like 8
now.
people.
Like
I'm confused too.
Yeah.
But hold on. How did the llama do that? He like
The llama
zapped the
did it.
water.
The guy did it. He had the radio and he dropped it himself. So the llama didn't even do that. The llama only had like a few casualties. Like he only killed a few people. Those
I thought
they killed themselves mostly.
That's so interesting. I thought the llama zapped the hot tub, and that's why they got electric.
I think
He had a
No, it was the-
radio.
yeah,
It was the radio.
It was the radio.
I'm just making shit up now because I'm like, what the hell is this? Yeah, that makes more sense.
I was taking some notes in my little.
Yeah,
It's over, but my little
and
notebook.
the two girls, they come in and they're like, oh, they're all dancing, and then they like step in and then they start getting electrocuted.
No,
right?
they weren't
So-
dancing. They're all like asleep. Everybody's knocked out, and then they thought they
No,
were...
no, but the girl said it looks like they're dancing. Didn't she say something like that? Like, let's join the dance party in the hot tub.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they were all still like.
Because they were all like
They were,
convulsing.
Then
and
they
she's
stuck
like,
their
oh, they're
toe in it.
dancing. Let's get in on this. And then they step foot, and then
Yeah.
The dialogue was really rough in this movie.
That was very-
Absolutely. There was probably a lot of liberties given.
Yeah, I don't even know that there was a script necessarily. I think they kind of just did it off the cuff, scene by scene. One of my favorite funny moments was the dad that comes in at the end to save them. I thought it was funny how he's with his girlfriend or whatever, or the girl that he's sleeping with. And he's like, I gotta go. And he just like takes off. She's like, the fuck?
No, she says
That was
something
funny.
freaking weird.
No,
like
she goes, "You have grandkids, or you have kids?"
Oh, that.
yeah. He's like old too. She's like, "You have kids?"
yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's kind of young.
But
That was
then,
weird.
But
That
then
was
she
weird.
say something else. I was like, you got even more or something like that. She get like
Oh, that's-
handing him
oh,
some
yeah.
No,
money.
you got even more. She said that because I guess
So-
she got. I call it
Yeah.
prego ego. She got prego.
Prego.
Is he a male prostitute? Because like she handed him money.
She handed him money.
Yeah.
Oh, she did?
So
That's
is he?
the only thing that
he-
would make sense.
Is the dad a male prostitute?
That's
He
a
might be.
gigolo.
As a gigolo, yeah.
That's a gigolo.
That would make sense.
Okay, it's making sense now.
That's
That's why
making more-
they
yeah.
got divorced.
That's-
Why they got. That's why the kids don't go with the dad because he's a gigolo.
Right, yeah. Court order. Arnold, did you have a favorite character at all?
When you said, who was like the strongest, I was, for the sake of like trying to be different,
Yeah.
like other than Floyd and Mel, I agree that Dan, he was the one who was like, let's do something, let's have fun, okay, let's play the game, like, he kept it moving, and
Yeah.
it kept it interesting with each shirt change. A little bit of ego when they're like thinking of words to rhyme, and he's all fit,
Oh.
and he kisses his arm on his bicep.
Yeah. It was a lot of very campy acting.
Yeah.
Mel, as someone who actively posts on TikTok a lot, you're sort of in the TikTok movie horror community. Are movies like this are these the kind of movies that you say kind of gain a cult following, or?
It might. Some movies like, well, Poltergeist is actually good. But movies
Right.
like that, they gain like a cult following for sure.
Yeah.
I have a movie that got a bunch of views. I guess for my channel, it's like Rectuma. I think there's a little bit of a cult following with that. It's such a weird movie about like an ass that attacks people, like a Godzilla, like Rectuma. It's very interesting.
You said that an
That's a
ass that
terrible
attacks.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a butt, just like a butt. And you
Is
get
it
the
is it like
POV of the butt.
is it
There's
like
no
a
human
nice looking
attack.
one? Perhaps.
It's like
A
a
nice-
hairy one, I think.
It's probably a hairy butt.
It's like a
Oh no, that okay. That'll be scary.
some of these movies they do gain a cult following. This one I could see. I looked on YouTube for any kind of video analysis just for fun. There's not a lot of people talking about it, and it's not easy to find on streaming. So I think that's why it's
Well,
not
Yeah.
we're the
getting
first now.
followed.
We're the first now, yeah. I did a search on TikTok and a lot of videos came up. I think TikTok is starting to be more, well, not starting, but I feel like it's going to have more of an underground vibe maybe because there's so many obscure movies and shit that are out there, which I think this one kind of is.
I think it
And
is.
we did Rubber on the show. Rubber
No,
was
that's
more
a
high
good
budget, but
No, you
that was
can't
actually a good
compare
movie.
Rubber to this Llamageddon. That's a
No.
good movie.
did you see Cocaine Bear?
Yes, and Cocaine Bear is an excellent movie. That's a good movie. For the premise of that movie,
Yeah.
it's very good.
And you told me off the air, you said you've seen Birdemic, right?
That's right.
For anyone listening, you guys should check out the Birdemic trailer on YouTube. It's the one of the best things I've ever seen. The narrator alone, he's like, "This is Bob and this is Sally, and together they have passion." And I'm like, "Whoa, like where's this coming from?" But yeah, the great trailer. Alex?
Mel, do you have any like interest in documentaries? I'm kind of curious if you've seen Winnebago Man.
I haven't seen that. What is that documentary? I'll watch a weird documentary.
So the Winnebago Man, I was introduced to this by hopefully a future guest that we have on. His name is Michael. He owns a restaurant out here in San Diego. He was telling me about this film, and what it's about is this guy who was hired to create these like sales pitch videos that they would send to the company who makes these Winnebagos. And he had actually had so many outtakes that somebody actually made a film of this, a short film of all his outtakes, but they were just really bad. Him just going off on like the crew, or like him just getting mad at himself for like screwing up a line. And he's like, what the? It's just like very, very unhinged. You could actually go on YouTube and find like a supercut of like a lot of his flubs and just like the best of kind of stuff, you know. But they made a documentary on that.
I'm trying to watch this other documentary. I think I can find it somewhere. It's called Caterpillar. Somebody getting like the new eye colors, like
What?
lens, it's like implanted in your eye.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They were saying that like that documentary has gotten so popular in the underground. There's a comic convention in Portland, and what's his name from Walking Dead? The guy that rides the motorcycles.
Norman
Reedus.
Reedus.
He was doing a signing, and he was curious as to why there was this huge ass line that wasn't his. He's like, what's going on? And he sent one of his guys to go check it out, and it was the guy from Winnebago Man. And he's gotten like such...
Norman Reedus was like, "What is this line?"
Yeah, why is this like a
Is it
huge...
the Winnebago guy.
Yeah, the Winnebago guy. He had gotten so popular that like he'd made the convention circuit, doing signings. I guess he still does it to this day. I don't think it's the documentary has the power that it used to have, but like at the time when it came out, people just were in love with this Winnebago Man.
I think this movie's done something right because it's 10 years old and we're talking about it. So I think they've sort of reached cult status in a way. Maybe not as big cult status as other obscure horror movies, right?
Well, you said you saw a bunch on TikTok. You saw a
Yeah.
bunch of TikToks about it, so maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any TikToks about it.
What was the one where they stitched their mouths to their buttholes? What was that one called?
Oh, Human Centipede.
Human Centipede.
Which one? Because there's like
Oh yeah,
three
there's
of them.
like what, 2 of them, 3 of them?
Two? Maybe
I
three?
think I've seen like 2 of them. Yeah, Arnold, Human Centipede. You should check those out. It's basically a mad German scientist experiments with these people, and he stitches their mouths to each other's buttholes like a centipede. You've
It's
never heard of this?
No. I never have.
It's so
The only
disgusting.
thing close to it is at the beginning of one of the Wu Tang songs, they're doing like these like back and forth, like, oh, what would I do to you? And he's like, I'm gonna sew your asshole shut and keep feeding you and feeding you
Yeah.
and feeding you. And then
Yeah,
That.
that made me think of that.
that's basically Human Centipede. HLP's in the chat. He's recommending Redneck Zombies. Has anyone heard of this one?
I have not seen that. That sounds something I would watch. Sounds like something I would watch though.
Yeah.
Like something like very low budget that I've seen. This is incredibly low budget. Slaw. What year? 2017. Slaw.
Slaw?
It's a
So instead of saw?
parody with coleslaw. Slaw.
Oh,
It's really
okay.
bad.
Does it involve like a
Oh,
mandolin?
hey, Rusty.
Maybe really sharp.
Oh yeah, it's like they're killing people with coleslaw, like drowning them in the coleslaw, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
That movie is really bad.
When it comes to food, you only get one first impression. Yeah, that's the tagline for
I
Slaw.
think a bunch of wrestlers made it.
Really? Oh,
'Cause there's
well,
a
that
bunch
explains
of
a lot.
wrestling in that movie, like for no reason.
We have a Rusty in the chat. Is
Yeah,
this a
Rusty's
friend of?
my friend from TikTok.
Nice. Oh, Rusty Reels. Yeah, we follow him.
Yeah,
What's
he
up,
posts
Yeah,
Rusty?
you
on,
have a lot
like,
of friends.
movie releases and stuff like that.
Yeah, nice.
He doesn't watch these terrible movies unless I
Yeah.
recommend it. Sometimes he does watch these terrible movies.
You make a
No,
lot of. I
haven't
have to
even
say,
anything terrible.
you make a lot of fun videos, and I know. And explain this to me. Maybe I'm getting this wrong. You tend to do like you sort of change your makeup in a way that relates to the thing you're talking about, right? Like you have like a theme
Sometimes.
going. Tell me about that a little
Sometimes.
bit.
Yeah.
Well,
I do
Arnold
that-
does his dance.
Oh, there we go. 30
Yeah, there you
minutes.
go.
You got it.
Yeah. How does the makeup thing work?
So I have a makeup IG, and that's just for fun. Really, I like makeup a lot, and I like doing my makeup. I do it every morning. I do it for work, just for fun, and I do makeup for my videos. They don't always relate to my videos, but I did have a winter movie ones that I had more like a wintry, frosty look. That was pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one was more like a cosplay level, but normally this like makeup like this is just my daily, everyday kind of makeup.
Do you do
Gotcha.
cosplay?
I have been known to cosplay. Yeah, I would do it sometimes.
What conventions do you attend?
I have previously attended stuff like, man, the one in Orlando. What is it?
Is it
The end of
MegaCon? Or hold on.
Maybe a MegaCon. Not recently though.
Okay.
And then there was one called like JCon. There was a bunch in Miami as well that I've cosplayed at. I think there was a Nightmare Con or something like that, like dressed like a villain or something like that.
Mm,
You ever been to San Diego Comic Con?
No, I haven't been.
You should cosplay as one of the characters from this movie, and it should be the character that changes his shirt all the time, and just bring like 100 shirts with you, and that's all you do. You just change. And if anyone gets it, then you've like we're on the same page.
No,
you
I'd
know?
want to be the Were Llama. That's more fun.
That'd be a good one. HLP says, "What are some of Mel's favorite cosplays that they've done?"
I used to cosplay a lot like Sailor Saturn. That would be
Mm.
like my Sailor Scout. Sailor Saturn, Freddy Krueger, something like that.
Nice.
But I think there's a convention coming up in Tampa that I'm going to. I want to dress up like the Doja Cat from the music video where she's an alien. Crap, what's the name of the song? Need to Know. But instead of NASA, Project Hail Mary stuff. And then I have a Rocky plush. So now it's like I'm crossing music and movie boundaries there with my
Yeah.
look. So
That'd be
fun.
awesome.
I still gotta see that Project Hail Mary.
Oh, it's
It's a good
yeah,
one.
I have the shirt. Amaze.
Love the
That-
book. Love the movie. Mel, and let me ask you this: while we're talking about Llamageddon, but I'm kind of inside baseball here. How do you plan what you're gonna say when you review a movie or a show? Like, do you write out a script? Like, I'm curious what your process is.
My process. I do not write a script. It's probably obvious.
Yeah.
It's like
Well-
because I'm like loading like what am I saying next? So I'll like write down a couple of points usually of like what I want to say. And I spend more time on movies that I feel like deserve more time, if that makes sense. Like I watch
Yeah.
a lot of movies. So they don't always deserve a lot of time. Unfortunately, I feel like that. But some movies that I feel like are very good deserve more time. So I'll make more points and I'll just say what I feel, I guess, pretty much.
And those accounts do the best, I've noticed. Like the accounts like yours that just kind of sound natural. Like these are my raw thoughts. Always seem to do the best. And like I'm over here like writing out scripts, and I was doing all this fancy editing, and I'm like, I don't have to do any of that. I can just talk to the camera. And on TikTok, you apparently blow up just from doing that. So
Can I know some people? My friend Binge with April, if you don't follow her, she's very good. She has like, not a lot of editing, but she's just talking to herself. She's really funny and I love her like mini reviews and like trailer reactions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I talk to her about movies and stuff. She's
And you guys get good engagement from just being natural, right? So what would you say, and I'm just curious, like what would you say about Llamageddon if you were to do a video? What would be like your 1 minute just elevator pitch for that movie?
It would be something like I did a video about it earlier because I'm going to post it later. Oh, now I'm on the spot. I'm not recording in front of my camera. It'll be
Sorry.
something like it'll be like a movie about a llama Armageddon with only one llama. With only one llama, one really cute llama. Where or a movie where the main character, a llama, is the best character in the whole movie and everybody
Right.
else deserves to die, which is true. Except maybe
Yeah.
Dan. I'll spare him, but Floyd gotta go. He's so annoying. Even the sister Mel, she was annoying too. They all gotta go. Dan, I'll keep him alive. He was okay.
Yeah, you have a very like simple format. I remember watching your pluribus videos. You were pointing out stuff, and I was like, I didn't think about it like that. That's a good point. So
Right. I
Yeah.
want to go a little bit into more analysis into my videos instead of. It depends on the video because I watch a lot of found footage. They don't have a lot of analysis to them, but
yeah.
other movies and other videos. I mean, other movies do.
For those of you tuning in, pretend like we're on the radio now. We're talking about Llamageddon. It's a 2015 film about a killer llama from outer space.
Just like-
Lots of crazy VFX. It shoots lasers out of its constantly red glowing eyes. There's a party happening with, I guess they kind of follow that horror trope of like there's always a party with teenagers and there's sex going on. Which, by the way, those sex scenes were, I don't even know what to say about those sex scenes, but that was ridiculous. Arnold, did you have some thoughts on that? You're laughing, so I'm curious if you had any thoughts.
I didn't expect the roles to be, for Floyd to be penetrated.
Right.
And then, not a whole much to say.
Okay. You'll have more to say later in our later segment. But yeah, what else, guys? Llamageddon. I mean, that's the movie. I was just reading.
I thought that like one of my favorite lines was that guy, the scientist. He's like, he's been waiting his whole life for something like this in reference to finding that furry egg. I was like, hold on. This specific moment, you've been waiting your whole life to find a furry egg. I don't understand what kind of school he went to. He saw this in a book and he's like, I hope one day I find this sort of egg. I thought that was kind of ridiculous.
We never came back to those scientists again.
You never
either.
did.
They should have had
No.
come out at the end. I think.
Yeah, and then
But maybe we only had them for one day of filming, so that was it.
maybe maybe we see them in Apocalypse.
Alpacalypse.
Alpaca.
Alpacalypse.
Didn't that like Stoner dude use that as a reference to when he's packing a bowl? He was like alpaca bowl, and then he like does that like thing where he stares at the camera for a long time. There's like
Okay, that guy, he looked right at the camera.
Yeah.
Like breaking the fourth wall. I thought he was gonna say something to us.
Yeah.
And he looked away. That was clearly a direction.
yeah.
He was like, you guys get what we're doing here, right? You guys get the shit we're doing here, right?
We're making a dumb movie, you know it, right?
Now that we've talked about it more, I guess there is a bit of a charm to it. Like, it's easy to hate on something this dumb. It's easy to hate on camp. But like you mentioned, Alex, the Troma films earlier. Like, those movies are campy as fuck, right? And they have a cult following.
And
So
I'm a
I
huge
think it's
fan of
because
Troma.
And you're a huge fan, right? There's a charm to it. And like I said, this is a 10-year-old, almost 11-year-old movie. And here we are talking about it. HLP says, hey, up until my early teens, I was waiting for my furry eggs. Quote from Arnie's chat. Oh, Arnie, your chat's leaking, Arnold. Your
I know.
private chat is.
Well, I didn't want to. That was one of the things I was laughing about. I didn't want to read it, but HLP he subscribes and he
Amel,
leaked
for
it.
context, Arnold has a secret chat that only he has access to. And he reads us the most out-of-pocket things from his secret chat, which that's good engagement for the show. So, yeah, that's Llamageddon. I think we're at that point now. Mel, let me start with you. What are your final thoughts on Llamageddon?
Llamageddon was not that bad. It was like 69 minutes long, like you said, so barely over an hour. That's good. It really didn't have enough material for that. The acting was probably the worst part. It did have a plot, so I can respect that. And it did have kind of like limitations of what the llama could do. Also, the llama's very cute, and I wish we would have had more llama. Really, that's really what it is. Maybe like a couple more llama. I don't know. They let that llama go inside that house. I was like, you're letting that llama go inside that house because they put it in. It had like still like the leash, the mouth leash from being handled. And so
Yeah.
they're dragging it along like to film it doing stuff. And I was like,
Yeah.
We need to have more llama.
And I like how most shots of the llama are just like, and then they just like put the glowing eyes on it, and it's like, oh, okay, now that's the. But like you said, not a bad actor. Not a bad actor for.
No,
for
the llama was the best actor of that movie. That's
Yeah.
why everybody else deserved to go. Sorry, they had to go. I'm like, man, I just can't wait for these guys, everyone to be murdered here. Oh,
Nice.
that girl, she was like trampled to death with like the fake hoof punches. Oh man, that was
I forgot about
good.
that.
Okay, honestly, that was creative. That was good.
That's a good point. I did like that. It was stupid as hell, but it was good.
It was
The good
effective.
kind of stupid. Where can people find you? Anything you want to plug or promote really quick?
Sure, on my TikTok, it's Mel underscore is underscore very underscore extra, or probably just Mel movie is gonna pop up, and
Yeah.
that's the same thing for IG, and also that's it.
Nice.
But you can
nice.
follow me on Letterbox if you want. That's Mel movie too. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Mel. Alex, final thoughts. Where can people find you?
I have quite a bit of notes, but they're mostly just like kind of like me running MST3K commentary. So let's go down the line. Showing the name of the movie a second time just to make sure you understand you're actually watching this dumb movie. So only 2 cars left that funeral?
Small town.
Yeah. Couldn't
Yeah.
find a hotel, so let's stay at the site of a murder.
Practical.
Are we expected to believe that this dude is going to survive this movie? I think, well, I was referring to Floyd. So the dog lives there and is self-sufficient. Floyd, like, there's a scene where Floyd is like still in his shirt and tie, and his sister tells him to change into some other clothes, and I was like, oh, Floyd's gonna go change into his Bluey jumper. He's been waiting his whole life, and I already said that. Use coasters. Your grandparents are dead.
Hey, I have coasters. I hate rings.
And then I thought this was a really funny scene. So as Mel is texting, she's not looking at her phone to text. She's looking at the floating text in the air.
Yes.
So she's just like, she's tapping on her phone, and she's like, I was like, why the fuck is she looking in the air? So this movie is sponsored by Busch Beer. And then later on,
Love Busch
at the
Beer.
very end, you see the end credits, and it said, I thought that was really, really weird. Special thanks to Taco Bell before special thanks to the family fire department and police department. Priorities straight. That's it. I said something kind of mean. This is the definition of a comedy being hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, comedy is
Too
hard. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's just like, those are my notes. Like, looking back after giving it a day to marinate how we had to deal with, what is that? I don't want to say that refer to that movie anymore.
Does it rhyme with blurbian film?
Yeah.
That's not a movie like this.
Yeah, no,
The
no,
movie
no,
is
no, no.
Like lighthearted and fun.
Yeah.
You're watching a highly disturbing movie.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
Or that's one of the most disturbing movies.
Yeah.
That's like on the top.
But
Yeah.
I was just saying that in the same vein of like giving it a day to marinate, it did like raise my star rating to a little bit higher. Yeah, I did give it a half. I did raise it up to a 1. 1 star. Just for trying. This is like, thanks for the attempt. I wonder if it was on purpose that they made it 69 minutes. Haha. It's probably an inside joke. But yeah, 1 star. You could find me at Daily Dares on all of the socials.
Arnold, it's time for you to give us your final thoughts, and then you know what comes after that, my friend.
Well, gosh, overall, I didn't really like the movie very much. It did really dawn on me that I remember when looking it up, I was like, oh, it's only an hour and 9 minutes. It just didn't dawn on me until, like you mentioned it earlier, that it was a 69-minute long movie. I feel like they did that on purpose to make it. They're like, hey man, let's make this 69 minutes long.
Yeah.
And just for the
Yeah, I just said that.
haha.
So let me say this. You mentioned in the chat that it took you 3 hours to watch this 69-minute movie. And I think I know why. So are we ready to just do it? Should we just do it? Should we just introduce the Arnold Snooze-O-Meter? And Mel, this is a very important segment, so be
Okay.
ready for this.
Yeah.
It's time now for the Arnold Snooze-O-Meter. So yeah, Arnold, why did it take you 3 hours to watch Llamageddon?
First night that I attempted to watch it, I put it on, and I was watching it on my phone, and then about 4 minutes into it, I fell asleep, and then I kept on rewinding it. I was like, you know what? I got one more day. Let's try tomorrow. The same thing. I was watching it on my phone, and then I fell asleep again. This was after a long day at work.
What happens to your phone when you're watching a movie and you fall asleep? Does it just fall on your face?
I was on my side and I had it like propped up, and then I woke up, and then actually my wife was calling me, it was in the middle of watching the movie, but I fell asleep, and I looked at it was like 38 minutes into it. So I was like, "We'll try this again," because I thought maybe if I cast it on the TV, I watch it on a bigger screen, I'll have a better shot. Well, we had problems casting it, so we're like, okay, let's go for some tacos. And then I just had a few tacos. I had about 8 tacos, and then it was really good. It's Taco Tuesday.
No ice cream, I hope.
No ice cream.
And beer.
But I did have a Jamaica. Hibiscus is great for your blood pressure. So after about
8
El
tacos.
Pastor tacos, I mean they're like little tacos.
It cancels
They're like
it
little
out.
tacos. They're like that big.
I like how
You know?
you did this as in tacos when it's like also timeout for Arnold because
It's
he's gonna go to sleep.
Taco time.
This is timeout.
It's taco time.
because you're gonna.
Time out for taco time.
Yeah,
Taco
taco time.
time, and then also like food coma time.
Yeah,
shortly after that.
pretty much.
Well, so then last night at around 10:15, I pulled through. I was able to push through and finish the movie, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, I tried watching this. I was trying to start watching it since like 6 p.m.
Wow. So let's get ready for the final snooze score, Arnold.
I give it a 4Z rating.
Oh wow, very
4
snoozy.
Z's. Because it took me like 3 hours yesterday and the night before, a lot of failed attempts because I just kept on falling asleep. I was a little bored of the movie and kind of over it, and was like, I don't know. It didn't really interest me that much. Not my cup of tea. And when I read into it a little bit, well, oh yeah, and just for context, the more Z's. The more times I fell asleep.
It's
If
like,
it was
it's
a
like
zero
golf score. The higher the
Yeah. the less C's, the better. The more
You want
Z's, the
less
worse.
Z's.
You want less
Yeah.
C's, yeah.
Yeah, that was
And-
like mid Z's. It was getting a little boring after 40 minutes.
Well, you know what? I feel like I got to change it because after having all those tacos, I think I'll change it to 3 Z's. I'll do 3 Z's, because I did have all those tacos. So I'll change it from a 4 to a 3Z. You can find me everywhere. Arnie Kalego. I'm that on Letterboxd. I'm that on all the socials. TikTok.
For the carne asada tacos.
No, he said Al Pastor.
I did El Pastor.
Al pastor.
Al Pastor.
And I also mixed
with
it in,
the
because
pineapple?
they,
Did you have them put the pineapple on the Al Pastor?
Yeah, you
they
gotta
don't do that there. This
That's
one.
not the real deal.
Right.
Well, it was a special.
I will say, so I just recently watched Skinnamarink, which was kind of like everybody's like a highfalutin sort of like artsy horror film, and I was just as bored watching this movie as I was with Skinnamarink. If not, I was more bored with Skinnamarink. So
Yeah.
to be fair,
That movie's more vibes. It's a vibes movie.
Skinnamarink is like you only get action in the last like 2 minutes of the movie.
yeah,
Aside from that, you're just watching like walls and floors.
yeah, and
screams
people
of,
going,
Old
"Is that
cartoons.
you? Come downstairs."
That movie was too long. It was one of the first movies I've had to like fast forward to the end. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, is it just more of this? It just seemed like more of
Yeah.
that.
I was waiting for the creepiness in Skinnamarink, and it never came along. I was just bored. Bored.
It was just too long. It should have been like 40 minutes, 30
Absolutely.
You know what I just thought of when earlier you said, oh, and this movie was sponsored by Bush, which I don't think so, because there was a part where Dan, he was like going to get beers for everybody, and he's holding them, and then it's like he's all surprised that they're all like dead, but then when he drops them, they don't sound like full beers. They're like empty beer cans.
Right,
minutes.
right.
Man,
I refute that because at the very end they do say special thanks to Bush Beer on the credits. So
no, but I think he did that because if you dropped like real beer cans,
Yeah.
they would all explode.
Yeah.
exactly,
Right?
they're
Like,
just props,
They,
Arnold.
if they were full, so
True.
they had to be empty. They just didn't remove the empty sound.
They call that a practical effect. Yeah. It's
Did
good
you
stuff.
notice when they're making when Floyd was making drinks for the girl? I think they were just really mixing water and Coca-Cola. There was like Coca-Cola that was like in a liquor looking sort of bottle, because it was like really dark, almost like Jägermeister. I was like, what kind of liquor is that? But then the liquid that they poured out, they mixed beer into it, but then it was clear like water. I thought that was kind of funny.
I'm surprised because I would assume they would have made this drunk or under the influence of something.
I do believe that they were under the influence of something because they were really smoking.
That's
That
true.
was no CGI smokes.
No.
When she was puffing out her mouth. That was real smoke.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So she was
That's some real
definitely-
talent,
They were
too.
definitely smoking.
Yeah.
Arnold, in
That's
your weed smoking days, were you able to do that? Those little O-rings?
Yeah, yeah. But not as fast. But yeah, I could do those.
Arnold's
Yeah,
a method
those.
actor. We know this, right?
Did you say meth?
You're the Daniel Day Lewis of the group.
If Daniel
But, yeah.
Day-Lewis
Cool.
smoked meth.
Google's Daniel Day Lewis.
Write this down, Daniel Day. No, thanks for that, Arnold.
Oh yeah. Well, last but not least,
Yeah.
Mr. BOOTZ, too big.
Thank you. So yeah, you know what I'll say really quick. If the filmmakers are watching this right now, believe me, I say this with love. Like, I get it. Making a movie is hard. Even when you're goofing off and smoking weed and doing whatever other shenanigans, it's a lot of work. And you still have to edit the damn thing. You still have to do all the sound and the music and blah blah blah. And look at that. You've accomplished something because our show is talking about your 10-year-old movie. So if you see this, hit us up. Maybe we'll do Alpacalypse together. Alpacalypse, whatever it is.
That was two.
Apocalypse 2, yeah. But I am going to upgrade my Letterboxd score. But having said all that, this is what I wrote for Letterboxd after I watched Llamageddon, which is Llamageddon is the kind of movie you watch in its entirety while having a stroke. Mainly because the pain from a stroke might alleviate the pain from watching this movie. There are plenty of examples of so bad they're good films, The Room, and pretty much anything by Neil Breen. The difference is that those filmmakers sincerely thought they were making something good. Llamageddon, it doesn't work on that front because the filmmakers intentionally set out to make a so bad it's good movie, and it shows. Everything about this feels like they were trying too hard. The acting, the cheap special effects, and the concept itself. A killer llama from outer space that lands on Earth and terrorizes a group of people. It's sloppily made on all fronts. To give some credit, though, I can easily see this becoming a certified cult classic. It fills the same niche as movies like Birdemic, Sharknado, Cocaine Bear. I'd argue that those films are much better. Overall, if you have an hour of your life you'd like to never get back, watch this movie or have someone hit you in the face with a baseball bat. The latter will leave you feeling less empty inside. And I am going to upgrade the score from 0.5 star to 1 star. And that's my review for Letterboxd. You can find.
I love when they went to the spaceship, and they found that bat that was just clearly wrapped in foil, and he's like, "It's a space weapon,"
It's a space weapon.
and they don't even
Right.
use it. Like he uses it to hit something so far, but then it's like that's the only thing.
Oh no, you know what? My letterbox score is like a 2.5.
Oh.
2.5.
Because to me, I rate a lot of bad movies. So to
Yeah.
me, they're not that bad. Like, I watch a lot of them. You guys
Yeah.
probably watch good films all the time. I watch a lot of bad films.
We watch some stinkers, but everything's relative, right? Like we
I
watched
mostly
that
watch
terrible
Bottom of the
cowboy
Barrel
movie
on
with
Tubi.
Kevin
Costner.
what's his name? Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, God,
Arnold,
that-
always with the assist.
That was such a
Yeah.
bad movie.
That was dumb. That was
Which
dumb.
one?
That one didn't make sense.
It was Horizon, an American saga starring Kevin
That
Costner.
was so bad.
It was
Oh,
like,
I haven't seen that.
yeah,
It's awful.
well,
Don't watch it.
yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not. But that's the good thing about this show, Mel, is that we all have different tastes. We all have different.
Yeah.
Imagine if we were all on here talking about Marvel movies and oh my god, it's so good.
They're not all good. And I
That
watch
would
those too.
right. That would get boring quick. That's my score. You can follow me on Letterboxd. Boots Too Big. You can follow the show everywhere else. Never Seen a Podcast. You can follow us we're everywhere. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, X. Visit our website, neverseenapodcast.com. Email us, podcast.neverseenit@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts from. Leave us a review, leave us a comment. It really helps us out. Big thanks to Mr. Kyle Mapson of Burn Cycle for our intro and outro music. Follow Kyle on Instagram, selfies_food_and_pets. Big thanks to Mr. HLP for providing the Arnold Snoozometer music. And thanks for listening. Mel, I want to say really quick that thank you so much for being on with us. It was fun talking to you about this movie. And if you have any other weird, obscure movies you'd like us to down the line check out, let us know. And so thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I have so many weird movies.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts from anybody?
And I was just gonna say, great to meet you, Mel. And, I'm definitely gonna follow you. And thanks for being on.
I just want to say, this was the day I've been waiting for all my life.
Oh,
Where's
do
the
I
very
gotta?
egg? Where's your furry egg?
Oh,
That's basically the same effects.
yeah.
People in my chat, Alex, are saying, "Oh, I got a furry egg for you."